Well, hello everybody, welcome back. I'm so glad to be here with you once again. And I have to tell you, it has been a lot longer than I expected or planned. I planned to take, a week off for Christmas and come back at the very beginning of the new year. But I was so ill over Christmas and I've only really got better for about the last 2 days. I had a terrible flu. So you may remember before Christmas, mid-December, I got ill and had to cancel my Christmas party. That was a bit of a cold. But through Christmas I had a really bad flu where I was like in bed for days, and it's taken me a long time to get back on my feet and feeling somewhat normal. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm definitely feeling so much better, and I think within the next few days I'll be able to resume my normal life. But what it has done, it has really forced me to slow down and just take it easy, because I don't know about you, but for me, at the beginning of January, I see it as this time where you have to make all of your goals, make all of your plans, and start to really kick into the new year with gusto. But what it's made me realise is that if you really look at the seasons, this time of year, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, everything in nature has paused. Nothing is growing, everything is still. There's not this frantic rush in nature to start with a bang and get everything done. It's not until about March that things start to wake up and bloom. So I really have thought about this. I've watched a few videos whilst I've been laying in bed about, how the start of the year doesn't have to be this big drive to achieve everything. And it has really forced me to think about that and just to breathe. Because I'll be very honest with you, I was panicking about not creating, not doing my job. And if I'm totally honest as well, I have to think about these things, because if I don't work, then I don't earn money. So it's all down to me. So when you are ill and unable to do something, it can be quite concerning, but I'm fine, and I did have a wonderful Christmas despite being ill at the end of it and to the beginning of the new year. But it was a lovely time with family. But I have to say, I'm so delighted to be sitting in front of the camera and being here. This is like home to me. When I get my camera out and chat to you all, I feel so at peace. So thank you for all of the messages that you sent to ask where I was. And I hope people had a really wonderful start to the new year. So when I was planning the beginning of January, what I really wanted to do was focus on my home. Because, as I mentioned earlier, I just think that this time of year is a real time just to pause and reflect. But also, it's a great time to look at your home and see how you can make the best of it. And I always find, and it's not a conscious thing, but at the beginning of every year in January, it's when I make the most changes or additions to my home. I was looking back at photographs the other day, and it just seems that in January I add new things. Like last year I got my new sofa, I changed the rug, I added a lamp, and it seems to be the pattern that in January I do these things. And I think it is because we're in our homes so much, because it is freezing outside, that you want to kind of nest and make your home so beautiful. So I've been thinking about what I want to do in my home, and one of my Christmas presents, which is one of my very favourite presents that I got, was this book, and it's called Home, and it's by a lady called India Knight. She has a very successful Substack where she writes weekly about the home, and this book is just about how to make your home the most beautiful, inviting, cosy place that it can be. And it just goes through everything. I have been lost in this book. So I first started reading it on the train home, so that was on the 23rd of December, and I'm just so in love with it. It's just so wonderful. Many of the things I already do, but it just gets you to really think about your home and how you can make the true best of it. So it talks about kitchen, lighting, paint, and then it goes into bathrooms, bedrooms, outside, then talking about decluttering. And it's just a really lovely it's a very soothing book because it doesn't shout at you or give you rules that you must follow. It's basically just giving you lots of good advice about how you can make your home uniquely yours and true to who you are, rather than looking on Instagram or somewhere like Pinterest and finding all these beautiful photographs of beautiful interiors, but they're not really you. So it's getting you to think about how you want to live in your home, and that is why I love it so much. So I'm going to come back to that in a second, but what this book has made me think about is my home, and I started to think about every room and what was displeasing me about every room. So one of the rooms that displeases me the most is my kitchen, because it's quite a small room. This is a rental home, so I can't really make too many changes. As you may know, about 4 years ago I added the stick-on white tiles, because before that I had these very garish red ones. That made a huge improvement. But then there are other things that I don't like. For example, the kitchen doesn't have a window. It doesn't mean that it's completely without light, because it has an arch opening to the dining room which has a window, but the light is quite scarce in there. And I just felt like it was lacking warmth and coziness. In my old apartment, which was just in the next street, my kitchen was quite big, and I made it into sort of like a living room. It was layered with rugs and art and things. So I began from this book starting to think about what I could do to make my kitchen more cozy. So I'm going to show you what I've done over the last few days since I've been feeling a bit better to the kitchen to make it a little bit more cozy. It's very small changes, but it's made such a big difference. And then another room that I really don't enjoy in my home is the bathroom. So I have 2 bathrooms in this house. I have a main bathroom, which is just next to the living room here, and it has a bath, a loo and a sink. It's quite a nice size, but the tiles are very 80s, and the fixtures are very old-fashioned, and it's just not a very beautiful space. I've done my best with flowers and pictures and trying to make it beautiful, but it's quite difficult. And then I remembered about 5 years ago, there's somebody on YouTube called Kylie Flavelle. She's one of my favourite YouTubers, and about 5 years ago she renovated the bathroom in her, at the time, boyfriend's apartment. They've since got married. And she was on a budget, and she painted the tiles. It was similar to my bathroom. She painted the tiles all in white, and then she found a stencil, and she stenciled every one in blue. So she had this blue and white kind of Delftware look, and it turned out to be so charming. That has been in my mind for years, and I thought about doing that to my bathroom, but I thought, it's not really mine, and is it a waste of time? But I've been thinking about it over the last few weeks, and really it is minimal cost. It's the paint that I bought for the bathroom cost me £40. It's going to do a little bit of work on my behalf, but everything else are things that I can take away. For example, if I decide to buy a new piece of furniture to go in the bathroom, something like a chair or a stool, it's all stuff that I can take with me when I move on eventually. So I'm thinking that at the very beginning of this year, in the next few weeks, to start that as well, the bathroom, just to make it a little bit more beautiful. I am in this home, I've been here for a long time, and home is so important to me, as I know it is to many of you. So I think it is worth my while to not live with these rooms that I don't love. I pay a lot of money to live here, so I should love everything in this house. So that is my aim. I've also done a few tweaks to the dining room. I had my housekeeper here last week. She comes every Saturday, and we have the best time together. When she comes, we either clean together, or we start taking out things that need to go to the charity shop, or we tidy the garden. We just have a nice time chatting and working together, and it's nice to have somebody to help me once a week to look after the house. So we took down all of the Christmas decorations, and so I decided just to add a few things to the dining room as well, so I'm going to show you that. But now, back to this book. Because I think this is such a wonderful, wonderful book, I thought that it would be nice for me to do a little giveaway. So this is not a sponsored post in any way. This was a Christmas present from a friend to me, and I just enjoyed this so much, and I want one of you guys to own a copy. So all you need to do if you want to have a copy of this book is just leave me a comment, anything that you want, in the comment section, And when I post next week, next Thursday, I will have a look through and I'll try and pick somebody completely at random, and then I will contact you and you can get a copy of this book for free as a gift from me. Just consider this the start of the new year, gratitude for your support, my joy at being back, and just a little present from me, because this is truly a beautiful book. I'll also link this book in the description box today so that if you want to have a look, you can. But it is one of the loveliest books about the home that I've ever read. It covers every room, every topic that you can think of, but in a very friendly, non-lecturing way, which is why I like it so much. I decided to take a winter walk to my local florist to pick up some fresh blooms. It is always a delight to come here. They have the most cute dog, and the flowers are just so stunning, from their fresh blooms to all of the dried flowers that are hanging from the ceiling. They also have the most beautiful homewares, from candles to cutlery, glassware, bowls. I bought some beautiful mugs from here actually, which I'm really excited to use. But it's such a pleasure to come here. It really uplifts a cold winter day, and when you take the flowers home and place them on your desk or side table, it's just so life enhancing. So, I want to show you what I've done in the dining room. You can see the Christmas tree's gone, it used to be there, but I bought this rug and it was intended to be for the kitchen, but when I opened it out, it was a lot bigger than I realised, and I just thought it looked so great in here. It's made such a huge difference, that rug. It just really goes well with the lovely dark table and the painting. I just think it's so beautiful, so simple and charming. So yeah, I added the rug, and then I just simplified my table setting, because obviously we had a full Christmas spread on here, but after the excess of that, I wanted something simple, so I added my beautiful white terrine that I bought from the Cotswolds and just 2 dried hydrangeas. And then I went to IKEA yesterday and I bought these glass votives, the hurricane jars, and I added in some candles in here. And the reason why is because the room is so beautiful with the Christmas tree, with the twinkling lights, and I just wanted to add something in that could replicate or replace that. And I thought that this was a great idea, and I lit them last night, as you can see, and when it is all glowing, it is very beautiful. So it's made such a lovely difference, and I really, really love the room now. So yes, I think this room is looking quite beautiful, really, really nice. Now, what I really wanted to share with you in the kitchen is this new addition of the table lamp. Now, when I was thinking about how I could make the kitchen more cozy, what I thought about was, what do I have in other rooms and what did I have in my previous kitchen that made it so cozy? And I realised that it was the lighting. Now, this kitchen has a really ugly ceiling light that I never ever turn on. When I do, it gives the most awful glow and I hate it, so I never have that on. And then it has strip lighting underneath some of the cupboards, which is quite, not too bad. It creates a nice glow when you don't have the big light on. But I always wanted to have a lamp in the kitchen. The problem is that because of the kitchen counters, the cupboards are quite low, it wouldn't fit underneath. And then I really wanted a lamp here, but there is no plug on this wall to plug a lamp in. So I was researching some cordless options, and I found this beautiful brass table lamp from Pookie, and I really wanted a big lamp. I did post this on Instagram yesterday and a few people said it's too big, but for me this is the perfect size. I like to go bigger scale sometimes, and I wanted a big lamp on here that just adds a bit of a statement, and I think this is really perfect and I had to share it with you. So again, this is not sponsored in any way. I paid for this with my own money, but I think it is such a great solution if you have an area where you want to add a lamp, but there's no plug, which can be so frustrating. It's happened to me so many times. And I think you may remember a few months ago, I bought some bulbs on Amazon where you can just put them into a regular lamp and they recharge, but they were so dim, it didn't work. So I found this one from Pookie, and I'm going to show you this. It's so great. So the shade just pops off the top. It's magnetic, so it just pops off the top like that. And then Pookie have these genius bulbs. So these are really great high quality bulbs. They have a little inlet here so that you can plug it in, and this will last between 9 to 16 hours depending on how bright that you have the bulb, because you have a remote control here and you can have it bright or more dim. And what I've been doing is because I like to have this on most of the day, when I go to bed at night time I just pop the lamp over there onto the side and I charge it overnight, and then I put the cable away in the cupboard, and that is it. So it's pretty cool, very convenient. I pop on the bulb here, which just goes on magnetically very easily, and again the shade. And the great thing with Pookie, they have hundreds of shades that you can choose from. This is called Taj Silk, and it's slightly warm, which I like. And then the lamp base just literally fits over the top of the bulb, like that, magnetically, so it's not moving anywhere. And then you use the remote and you turn it on, and you have lamp light. So if I turn off the strip lighting, you get that beautiful glow. And I have to tell you, it is crazy how much lighting can affect your mood. I have been, over the last few nights, putting this lamp on in the evening, lighting a little candle, getting a glass of wine or a gin and tonic, cooking my food, putting on some music in the background, and I feel like I'm in a beautiful movie. It has just made life so much more beautiful. And that is what I always talk about, how it's these simple, small things that make life so wonderful. You don't need a big flashy car or the latest handbag or the latest designer shoes. It's a little lamp in the kitchen that makes your home so cozy and beautiful and makes you just think, oh, I'm so happy to be in the house. So I had to share that with you because I really do like it. Oh, the wrong one. And then no, that was the right one. And then talking about the simple things, I also love this. This is so simple. This is a tin pot from Williams and Johnson Coffee Company. It's a coffee company in Edinburgh, and my good friend Jonathan Fremantle, I went to visit him before Christmas, before I left, and he had his Christmas tree in one of these containers, and I said, wow, Jonathan, that is so chic. I love it. Typical of him. He has this very throwaway, easy chic in everything that he does. He wears very simple navy blue trousers with a simple shirt, his hair back, and his home is filled with books, a piano. There's always something like a salad that's been cooked on the side, candles lit, very easy chic, very chic, so him. And I said, I love this container. And he said, oh, I've got plenty of them in my, he's an artist, so he's got a studio. He said, I've got plenty of them, I'll give you one for Christmas. So when I returned home from Christmas, he'd left one in my garden for me. And I love that. So I'm thinking about what to do. I can imagine in the summer, if you've got a huge bunch of flowers that could go in there that would just look so easy and elegant, or perhaps a beautiful in the garden, if I put it into the garden and make a beautiful arrangement of plants in there, or maybe even something like a little tree. But I just love that. And it is those simple things that make life so beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed my first video of the year. For me, it is so great to be back. I've really missed getting the camera out, sitting down and chatting. I always say it, but it's the truth that I just feel so comfortable sitting here. It's like I'm sitting having a chat with a friend, and that is because you are all so lovely and so kind, so thank you. And it's great to be back. I'm looking forward to a wonderful year together again. On Instagram, I've been doing a new challenge. So I really wanted to challenge myself this year to post more regularly on Instagram. And at the end of last year, I began to think of ways that I could do that. And I think when you announce something online, like I'm going to do this, for example, you have a certain responsibility then to see it through. So I began to think about what I could do. And I made a video before Christmas about something about if you do these 5 things, you're probably more elegant than you realise. And they were very simple things like enjoying nature, enjoying your coffee in the morning slowly, making the bed, things like that. And it got a very good response. It had 100,000 views, and I got quite a lot of new followers on Instagram. So I thought that has probably, obviously, resonated with people. So I decided to do a 30-day challenge for January where every day I give a few tips about how you can be more elegant and make your life more elegant. And these, again, are very simple things. I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy a Chanel handbag or go and buy an expensive this or that. It is more about looking at life and seeing the beauty in the small details. So maybe when you go for your walk this morning, smile at somebody, say hello. Look at the trees, even though the branches are bare, you can see the architecture of the tree. It is such a beautiful thing. Donate a piece of clothing that you no longer wear to a charity shop. Think about the lighting in your kitchen. Simple, small things that you can do every day. So I'm doing that for 30 days. I think we're on day 7 now. So do check that out. It's quite a fun thing, and I'm enjoying showing up every day. I recorded most of them before the new year, before I was ill. Batch recorded them, and I'm just starting to get into recording the next lot now. But every week on my Substack, it's been the 7th day today, I'll do day 1 to 7 on Substack, written down so that people can get the list and I dive deeper into it a little bit more. So if you want to check out day 1 to 7 on Substack, I will link that in the description box as well. It's quite a nice little read for you to enjoy. But yes, I am so happy to be back. It's lovely to focus on my home. I really truly love this house. I know I talk a lot about moving, but that is just the globetrotter in me. But really, this home is exactly that. It's a lovely, lovely home. When I've been ill these last few weeks, it has been a place of calm and sanctuary, and I just feel so at peace. And I think that's when you know that the place where you live is special. And you know, when I moved into this apartment, it was bare. The walls were white. There was nothing in here. You may remember it. And it's taken me 5 years to get to a point where it's a cosy, beautiful home that I've created. And that is what life is. It's a slow process. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And it takes years and years of loving, nurturing and caring to get to a certain point. But I really do love this house now. So yeah, that is all from me today. A very gentle beginning to the new year. But yes, very glad to be back. And I do look forward to seeing you next time. But until then, stay warm, stay cozy wherever you are, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.